Reports, Showdown, Iraq. Reporting live from the Persian Gulf, here's Wolf Blitzer in Kuwait.
There's tension here in Kuwait, but the United States also remains on orange alert today. That's a high level for terrorist concern. Despite concerns a U.S.-led attack on Iraq could produce a terrorist backlash, a U.S. government spokesman says there are no plans to raise the alert level to the highest level, or red. Inspections of food production, and food storage areas were stepped up, although officials say there's no specific intelligence suggesting that terrorists will target the food supply. Security has been tightened at government buildings and other potential terror targets in Washington, D.C., and indeed across the country. The alert includes random searches of vehicles at airports and identification checks for truckers who haul hazardous materials. It also includes some flight restrictions. CNN's Charles Feldman has that from Los Angeles. Charles?
Wolf, that's right. And those flight restrictions now for the first time include things like Disneyland, because it's considered a potential terrorist target. I took up my airplane a while ago to see what that restrictive airspace really means.
So we're now coming up on Disneyland, having made sure with air traffic control that we are clear of the special restricted area that they've imposed. And about my 11 o'clock position, 3,500 feet or so below us, is Disneyland, which is, of course, in Anaheim, California, not all that far from where we took off, Santa Monica. But right now, we are legal. We are 3,500 feet above Disneyland. The idea is to keep small airplanes away in the event of a terrorist attack. But as you may be able to see, although we are legal here at 3,005, the difference between being legal and illegal is only 500 feet. And if somebody were in an airplane such as ours and wanted to do some damage, I suppose, to Disneyland, whether it makes much of a difference if you're at 3,000 or 3,005, it probably really doesn't.
And no one really knows just how long these new temporary flight restrictions will last. Wolf, stay safe.
Charles Feldman, thanks very much, Charles, for that report. The government is also planning to detain several dozen Iraqis in the United States whom it says may have ties to Iraqi intelligence. And the FBI wants to question thousands more Iraqi nationals. Our justice correspondent, Kelly Arena, has details.
Most Iraqi nationals living in the United States are of no concern to law enforcement, but there is a small percentage that officials say could pose a threat.
The concern we have now is with the probable hostilities with Iraq, what Iraqi either intelligence officers or other individuals sympathetic to the Hussein regime may try to do in terms of...
CNN has confirmed the FBI this week will detain about 3 dozen Iraqis in the United States who are said to be sympathetic to Saddam Hussein. Officials say they are all guilty of visa violations. There is some concern these individuals may have a connection to the Iraqi intelligence service, an outfit, according to an FBI advisory, capable of assassinations, hijackings, and bombings. But the advisory also describes Iraqi agents as, quote, inconsistently competent, and the FBI says al-Qaeda remains the bigger threat.
In the 1991 period, when Iraq launched some 42-man teams against the United States, their special forces attacking the United States proved to be unusually ineffective. Presumably, they've learned a few tricks of the trade in the last decade.
A number of Iraqi nationals in the United States remain under 24/7 surveillance, and FBI agents want to interview as many as 11,000 Iraqis who they say may be able to provide useful information in the war against Iraq. Even though the interviews are voluntary, they are causing some concern.
Knowing that you've done nothing wrong, that you're not connected to terrorism in any way, yet having the FBI come to your place of work, go to your neighbors, do all of these things, it's a very intimidating process.
FBI officials say they've done a lot to reach out to the Arab American community to try to build a better relationship, but they say they will continue to use every means possible to protect Americans. Kelly Arena, CNN, Washington.
A rush on duct tape, food, gas, money, and these as well. I'll show you more of life here in Kuwait on the eve of war. And a live look at Baghdad as Iraqis wait for the culmination of the showdown.
We go through this every time. Red.
Blue.
Leather.
Cloth.
Whoa. Now that's a car.
No, that's my car. I built it on the web, and they sent me that the next day. Printed and personalized. My color, my interior, where to go. They even gave me a free CD player. It can be here in a week.
Well, at least we talked about it.
CNN Tonight, the deadline's up. Now what? Senators John McCain, Dianne Feinstein, and more. Only on Larry King Live. CNN Tonight, 9 Eastern.
The timeless beauty and tranquility of exquisite tropical living is available now at Remy Developers. One-of-a-kind old-world masterpiece homes nestled in Lighthouse Point offer a lifestyle of elegance, character, and distinction. These unique Remy estates feature stunning interiors, exceptional views, as well as ocean access. Old masters, always a good investment. Call Remy Developers, 954-725-8686.
For over 112 years, the enduring principles of Northern Trust have helped America prosper. Northern Trust, a history you can build a future on.
You've seen the Fort Lauderdale International Auto Show. Now, the show's at your Buick dealer. Rendezvous, ride of a luxury car, capabilities of an SUV, terrific highway fuel economy. Buick quality rewards current GM owners with $3,000 total cash back. It makes this rendezvous available for around $23,000. Or choose 0 APR plus $1,000 loyalty cash on every new 2003. Offer ends March 31st. Hurry.
You cannot just tell people you're committed. You cannot just say you're dedicated. You cannot simply talk about your strength, your perseverance, your grit. You have to prove it.
Comcast, proud to be Broward County's new cable company.
Is CNN, the most trusted name in news.
U.S. troops on the front lines, of course, face great dangers, but there are dangers for others trying to cover this story as well. There are about more than 1,000 journalists now in Kuwait, and all of them are obviously concerned as well. Although we're doing our jobs, we're trying to do it as responsibly and as accurately as we can. We are taking protective measures just to be on the safe side, just to be precautious. For example, we've been given these backpacks with a lot of protective gear inside, among other things. I'll open up this one and I'll show you, among other things, what we have just in case of that worst case scenario. Obviously we have a gas mask just like this one. We've all been trained how to use it in case, just in case, small chance there's that kind of chemical or biological warfare that might be used in this part of the world. It's unlikely we'll ever need to use this, but we have it just as a security precaution. We have other protective equipment in here as well for that worst case scenario. But on the whole, people in Kuwait are living their lives. They're going about their day-to-day activities, but there's nervousness, there's tension. Certainly the security here throughout the region is serious. Security is, of course, all pervasive, and we're going to have to deal with that. We'll cover this war when it happens as best we can. And do you think Iraqi troops will fight or fold? Log on to CNN.com/Wolf. That's where you can vote. We'll have the results immediately when we come back.